What was
Okay, I have a
the
couple
next one?
takes.
The third one with Rascal was that I'll stop humanizing supervillains.
Stop giving them human backstories so people can relate to them.
Yeah,
I could
then-
not disagree with that
Walking
take more.
Just be evil.
Yeah.
My favorite media is when the villain, do you feel like, kind of understood where he or she were coming from. That's my favorite shit. When the comic book movies do that, I'm like, yes, finally. Don't just give me the big bad and he just shows up and you wonder why. I like it when I'm like, oh, I can relate to that.
Dex, I text you the link, or I text the link in the group again.
Oh, okay. Wait, send it to me, Dex, so I can tweet it.
Oh, the YouTube link?
Mm-hmm. I had to I restarted it.
For a second, I thought it was you're sending the Zoom link. I was like, he's already here. What are you doing? What? Bring Teej on to the Zoom. All right, sorry. My dog super had to poo.
Super had to.
Dude, like, we got outside and she immediately went, which
When
is
you gotta go, you gotta go.
was just a rarity.
All right.
Let me tweet this. Then I'm ready.
I'm gonna just retweet it once Teej tweets it because
That's fine. Recording on my end too. Recording
As-
on.
Am I? Okay.
yeah, I'm recording now.
Let me paste it.
Alex, tell them what they've won.
All right.
A
I'm
new
ready.
dishwasher
I just
set.
tweeted it.
All right, are you recording on your end too?
Me?
Yeah, GarageBand.
Oh, that's right. Let me go to
Or-
GarageBand.
Something like that. Or it doesn't matter. Vinyl doesn't, as long as we get a recording.
Vinyl. Dude, please send me a vinyl. That'd be the coolest thing ever.
Jake has to convert that into an MP4.
I have a record player that does just that. That was my very first record player. Is that it takes old vinyls and will convert them into MP3s using Audacity.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was originally like my sister gave it to my parents because they have like this extensive vinyl collection. They're like, you can finally listen to them, but my parents never used it, so they kind of secondhand gifted it to me when I was in college.
I told my fiance, I said, I think I'm going to get in. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Sorry, I was making sure I was recording. Y'all go keep
you're
going.
good.
Okay, I'm good.
I told my fiance, I was like, since I'm not too far away from 30, I'm going to get into collecting vinyls. She's, please don't do that. I was like, all right. Okay.
Get
so
some succulents in the house. It's time.
Exactly. We're back. One Take Podcast 1 year episode with none other than special guest Teej. He is back at less, maybe under. I don't even know how many lesses your Twitter handle is at this point.
Right
Got
now,
banned again.
It's less_humble Teej. I've been deplatformed and I'm still very upset about it.
What did you compared Trump to?
I was in the middle of a thread where I was just tweeting out the very true similarities between James Harden and Donald Trump, and for whatever reason, I was suspended, and they still haven't even sent me an email telling me why, and they didn't respond to my when I went and told them that they shouldn't suspend me, and I appealed it. They didn't respond, so I have no idea.
Free use policy. Jesus,
I've been
man.
deplatformed.
Yet again.
First Amendment right, Paul.
Got you out of here again. That's incredible. All
He
right.
just wants to know what happened to the 80 million votes. He just wants to know.
Stop the steal. Stop the steal.
Teej, what is your very Republican movie take that we're about to?
My first take is that I am not a Republican. I want that to be clear. It's just a joke. Everyone who's listening that doesn't know me, I'm not a Republican. I hate the Republicans. My first movie take that I have just come to recently upon probably my 3,000th watch of this film is that Goodfellas is a perfect film, but it is not the best mob movie of all time. So even though it will never get to the heights of The Godfather and the way that we view it, it is still in its own right perfect. So this is the LeBron versus Jordan debate.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay.
All right. As somebody who has also somehow missed watching Goodfellas too, I can't.
Wait, are you telling me that you've never seen Goodfellas?
He's never seen Goodfellas or The Godfather.
There's no way that either one of these things are true. That has to be fixed like within the week. Like you first of all, I'm super jealous that you get to watch these two films like as a grown person and like as a person who already has good taste in film. I'm so jealous that you get to experience these two movies like in this context. But man, you really got to fix that.
It's weird because Goodfellas is AMC space filler. Like they have nothing to show that day, so it's just it's going to be on AMC 2 times in a row.
Like I just missed it, so I don't know.
I've seen both of those movies, and I'm always the like I don't need to go back and watch old movies guy, but I've seen both of those.
Somewhere my dad is crying, but like I have just missed those films.
I love the two different approaches. Whereas one, like Goodfellas, literally brings you into the life. They literally start when he's a kid, and they literally bring you into the world of mobsters before they tell you the story of Henry Hill, right?
Yeah.
Because the movie is really not about Henry Hill. The movie is more about the way of life and kind of like how you juxtaposition the way that they live their lives versus like the America that has kind of forced them to live their lives in that way. So it's so amazing how quickly you are into the world. Like the world building starts immediately. The opening scene, the opening cutscene is just like, wow, this is kind of gross and this is going to be super violent. And then immediately upon seeing the credits, you are immediately in the world, and it kind of just never slows down. And I love that. Which is The Godfather is the exact opposite, right? You're at this wedding, and you don't know who's who. You just see a lot of people dancing, having fun, but you know there's something different about this wedding. And then when you finally go back to the room where the Godfather is, you kind of see, oh, okay, this is a wedding full of mobsters. That explains some of the suits. It explains some of the dialogue that's happening at the actual wedding. And then it kind of spools from there versus like Goodfellas kind of literally throws you into let's assume you don't know what the mob is or you don't know anything about the mob or La Cosa Nostra. Let's just give you a primer and throw you into the world immediately. And I just find, obviously, both of them are peak American cinema, but I watched Goodfellas again the other night, and it is so perfect to me. The performances are just so great. And unlike The Godfather, which has some funny moments, like Goodfellas is hilarious. Like it's a genuinely hilarious.
Goodfellas.
It's a genuinely hilarious movie, but none of that ever takes away from the moments of levity and the feelings and the sheer fear that you have when you realize just how crazy some of the characters are.
Yeah.
None of that comedic stuff takes away from the fact that, like, holy shit, I'm pissing my pants. These people are scary. And I just love it.
Joe Pesci is terrifying because he's so funny.
He's literally terrifying, but he's also hilarious. Like when he's doing the police are beating him up and he's like, kiss my ass. He's like, bow, ping. It's like he's generally like putting on a comedic performance, but also has to be like completely terrifying. And so when he's doing the thing with Henry Hill, when he's like, you think I'm a funny guy? Like you buy, even though you've seen the movie, you buy, you're like, oh
yeah, he's about
I've seen
funny
how
he overstepped. Like he overstepped. Yeah. Like you really, every time I'm in, like every time when Joe Pesci starts to do the thing where he's got to act like he's pissed, but he's really telling the joke, I buy it every time. I'm just like, oh, this is scary. Like Henry overstepped. Like Henry's fucked. Joe Pesci's about to go crazy. And then it's like, oh, it's a joke. And it's just such an incredible performance by Joe Pesci. Long live Joe Pesci. Love
and then he actually smashes dude in the head with the bottle. Yes. It's like, god damn. Like I thought we were all joking, but apparently we are not all joking.
Oh no.
That waiter has the awareness of like a D3 safety. That like don't go over to that. Was the worst decision. Why would you go over to that table and ask that dude about his credit line in front of all those people when he's already drunk?
Oh no.
Awful decision making. Awful decision making.
Man, I'm actually I'm about this take. I'm about this. I am buying full-hearted into this. Actually, I do love Goodfellas. I was on the Royden train for a little while. I actually didn't see Goodfellas until way later. It's one of my wife's like favorite films of all time. It's whereas there's like a list of like 100 films where if it's on TV, I will stop and watch it. Doesn't matter if it's like the last 3 minutes, I'm gonna finish out those 3 minutes. Whereas her, like that list is like 2 films, and one of those films is Goodfellas, and it doesn't matter if it is, him and Connie just coat out of their minds trying to move everything through, or if it's the beginning where it's Henry Hill selling cigarettes out of the back of the car. Like it does not matter. She will watch it. So I have now seen Goodfellas a bunch of times, and admittedly, it took me a long time to get through it because at first I did not see the forest for the trees. I was like, this is just a movie that makes being a gangster look fun as hell. And like it succeeds. Like even the worst parts, even all like when they kill Billy Bats, you're like, okay, it's still kind of fun. Like this seems like a life with no repercussions. And then suddenly it all just falls out under them. And that's where I'm like, okay, this is actually genius. But whereas like in comparison, Godfather 1, okay, Godfather 2 does show at least a little bit at the beginning where, we get the De Niro storyline as, where it was more of a life of necessity because the old Godfather, I forgot what his name was, is just ruining this neighborhood. And so De Niro has to take it over and actually help this neighborhood. Henry Hill is just a kid that wants fucking money. He wants the power and it is a party for him the whole way through. Yeah, I'm there for it. I am there for that. Whereas, Godfather makes it seem like work. Goodfellas makes it seem like fun until it isn't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Michael has very much fun in the first Godfather movie. Like, how much fun is Michael having? Like, he's not having fun at all. Whereas Henry Hill is literally having the time of his life at all times.
Beats a dude, broad daylight, with the butt of a gun, and he's fine with it. Like, I think about that scene like 3 times a day. He just walks up in front of his friends, butt of the gun. Oh, that dude is dead. The dude is probably dead, but like.
So the difference between Godfather and Goodfellas is like Godfather, you kind of have to watch it as like this whole long thing, like as a movie. But Goodfellas, you can pop in at literally any point. You can just watch any one scene on YouTube real quick, and like you're right back into it. You like got everything you need to get out of it. Like
absolutely.
But Godfather, it's like you gotta sit through the whole fucking long ass thing. It's great. Like I just talked about earlier, how I think it's like the greatest movie of all time, all things considered. But like you can't like dip in and out of it like you can Goodfellas. Goodfellas is like perfect, like watch it on TV with commercials in it type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Roy has never seen these. We have to remedy that.
I mean, Goodfellas is on Netflix.
What the fuck, man?
Look, I don't have an explanation. Somebody was on Twitter already saying like, "How are you doing a podcast with a guy that hasn't watched these movies?" I don't fucking know. Like, I don't
even know how you contemporize. Like, how do you even watch like movies about the American mafia without having seen these 2 films? Like,
truly, how did you?
I don't have a backdrop.
How did you watch The Irishman? Which is just like
there's no way you could watch that movie without. Yeah, I don't know how you watch The Irishman without having seen these 2 films.
I watched half of The Irishman and decided it was bad.
You can skip over in this wannabe trilogy. You can skip over Casino because Casino is just basically like, okay, the mob is terrible and it's violent and everybody's going to die eventually living this fast life. Whereas like Goodfellas is, you're probably going to die, but damn, it's fun. And then, Irishman is basically like, okay, it's fun, but once you get out of the game, you're nothing. All you have is the memories and nobody to share them with.
I don't. The Irishman's boring.
It is. No, it's truly boring, but I mean, it is the ultimate conclusion to what Goodfellas was starting.
I enjoyed The Irishman, but they could have cut about 3 hours off that.
They also could have actually cast young actors, and nobody would have given a shit.
Like, I don't need to see the De Niro fake fight. Like, just cast young people for that one scene. It's fine. We understand what's happening. I don't want to see Robert De Niro at his age trying to fight people. I don't want to see that.
I also truly cannot watch any Ray Liotta film ever without just like, no, that's Henry. That's Henry Hill.
It's hard because he's only Henry Hill to me.
I only think about I quit smoking with Chantix. That's all I think about. That's all right. Man,
so I think y'all gonna hate my second take. So tell me when.
No, go for it. Let's do it and keep people from shitting on me because I'm embarrassed.
I did not realize. No, granted, this came after Something Wild and technically Field of Dreams, but Goodfellas is really early on in Ray Liotta's career. Like, that's film number 5 for him, and technically 2 of those are just like he's a part of it, but he's not actually acting in it.
Yeah, he talked about before, like in like I think of those GQ interviews where they do like the retrospective of your career. He talked about like how he wasn't prepared for that big of stardom.
What a slam dunk for him to go from nothing to Henry Hill.
Yeah, and he hasn't done it since.
No. It's been a free fall since, but what a jump.
What's the second take, Teej? You get 2 takes since you've been on, I think, the most episodes of a guest.
I would like to apologize to white America before I say this.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's go.
I'm sorry. I understand why people like it. I understand the performances that people love, but Fight Club is a bad movie. Like, it's not just like
stinks.
It's not just overrated. It's actually bad.
Fight Club,
much love to those
man.
The performances are good in the film. The performances are legitimately good in the film. Everything else about the film is bad.
I recently rewatched it just on a whim. I think we've had this conversation before, and I was like, I had to go back and be like, all right, what am I missing here? Now, I watched that, granted, I watched that when in the mid 2000s or like 2010 when I was a teenager or whatever, and everybody was like, you gotta watch Fight Club if you like movies or whatever.
Yeah.
And which is like that being the introduction to Fincher is kind of a crime.
It's literally a crime. That's what bothers me so much. This guy is actually a genius. He's made some things that will blow your mind, but everybody always makes people start with Fight Club. And to me, it's like, it's cringeworthy because Fincher is such a genius, and so many of the things that I think make him a genius just aren't present in that film. And I don't even think you have to get to like what the film has become a symbol for, or the kind of people that have gravitated towards the messages, or the messages they think are in the film. I should say, I shouldn't put that on the filmmakers. I should say the people who have gravitated towards that film for whatever reason. I don't even think you have to get to that point to get to the point where you just watch the movie and realize it's not that good of a movie. I think it's a movie where if you watch it right now, knowing what Fincher is and what he's done, you could see a lot of the like precursor things that Fincher would go on to do in later films much better. But every time I watch Fight Club, I'm just like, why am I watching this? Like, I could literally just put on Zodiac and have a much better time with something that's equally as dark, like, and just see the little pieces that Fincher's putting together that turns into the career of Fincher. Like, I just think that guy is so talented, and it's so weird to me when someone's like, "Yeah, I love Fincher. My favorite Fincher movie is Fight Club." It literally doesn't make sense to me. It's like saying you love LeBron James and your favorite LeBron James season was the first season with the Lakers. We didn't make the playoffs. Like, that's nobody's favorite LeBron James season. Like that we love LeBron James. He's amazing. That season will be forgotten by everyone, including LeBron James. Nobody's going to remember that season. Like, I don't know why Fight Club doesn't occupy a similar space.
You know,
it's so weird because you can tell people you want to get into Fincher, start with Seven.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody talks
better
about
Brad Pitt, David Fincher movie.
Yes,
nobody talk about Alien 3, which is like his first directorial debut because that was trash. But start with Seven.
Alien 3 is really bad, really
so
bad.
And then I actually know what the game is. Oh, I do know what the game is. It's okay. But yeah, to start with Fight Club. No, I don't know. I don't think anybody on this podcast likes Fight Club.
I like Fight Club.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though I rewatched it and I was like, this isn't as good as 15-year-old me remembers it being.
No.
The 15-year-old that like wanted, like, who thought it was deep and is like, you know, once you lose everything, are you free to, you know, gain anything, or whatever that quote is, you know, let's get that tattooed in typewriting on my back or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, now it's not as smart as it thinks it is, and it definitely lends itself to incels now, which is unfortunate. Because I don't want to be in that camp. But now, is it more entertaining than the Curious Case of Benjamin Button? Yes. So let's not pretend like it doesn't hold weight.
I'm never going to watch The Curious Case of Benjamin Button ever again, so I'll give you that. I'm never watching that film ever again.
No, that's
also, it's quite possibly the hottest that Brad Pitt has ever been. Not for dude that's every dude
Ocean's 11 is the hottest that Brad Pitt's ever been.
Yeah, that's correct. That is absolutely. The man is eating in every scene, and still, I'm like, no, I would mount you like a tree. That's he is stupid gorgeous, and all the Ocean's 12 is a hot fest garbage nonsense. Ocean's 13 somehow brings it back together, but all those movies he's gorgeous.
Dax, you can't look at Dirty Helena Bonham Carter in the movie and not tell me that you're feeling something.
I mean, I am, but still.
I mean, I am.
I watched that movie for the first time in college after like my entire life being told, "Oh, Fight Club is amazing." Like,
You were too smart for that movie by the
it.
time you watched it.
Yeah,
And I watched it. I was like, "That's it."
yeah,
You were supposed to be 13 years old.
absolutely. You were
It's quite
supposed to.
possibly why I like it. It's like why I still like Blink 182 and punk music sometimes.
Sure.
Most of the time, it's like, oh, it's the music that you were listening to like when you were getting laid. Like that's what.
That's everybody's favorite music. Whatever
I-
was played at the time when you were getting laid is the
Yeah,
shit that you in love.
And I
Glorious
gotta
times
be
in
honest,
life.
man. The there is no Tyler Durden thing. Stupid. I hated it. It was so
Yeah,
fucking dumb.
It's not even the best Fincher movie with a twist ending. That's or I guess
No.
with a huge twist in it. Like that's like the twist in Gone Girl works so much better than the twist in Fight Club. It's not even funny. And everybody knew the twist in Gone Girl because everybody had read the book except for me.
The twist in 7 that it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head and that
Yes.
Brad Pitt is actually the last sin of rage, or no, I think envy was. It doesn't matter.
Whatever that
That was a
last
better
scene was.
twist. No,
Man, that movie is awesome. That movie
So
still
good.
holds up.
so good, and a more grittier look at a city life than any Batman movie has ever done. No part of that city had ever looked good. Like I was like, I'll. When I first saw that as like a kid, I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna live in a city. It's gritty and grimy and always rainy.
You can
Also, when I go
definitely
back and
tell.
watch 7, go ahead.
I was
Rodney.
gonna say, you were saying, you can definitely tell in this movie that like there's definitely things that he's taken later and made better. Like there's a lot of
absolutely.
things in Girl and the Dragon Tattoo that have similarities with
Definitely.
with this movie. How like dark and how it's filmed, and of course that's like Fincher movies, but just kind of the grittiness of it. One thing that I will sort of like say that I do like about this movie is the comedy of it a little bit.
Mhm.
The slapstick of, or what's funny is beating the shit out of Jared Leto is never gonna get old.
No, the same reason we love American Psycho, because I mean we are all here for Jared Leto just getting an axe to the face.
But
Anytime
this
you can bring
movie
that
came
up.
out at the perfect time of the height of technology and modernity in 1999, when
Absolutely.
everybody was working office jobs and everybody we were in the Clinton administration. Things were going good for a lot of people. And then everybody was like, man, this is fucking boring. And that's what this movie capitalizes off of.
We're about to enter the Bush era where suddenly everybody's a little pissed off. Man, no, I think it did suffer because I think I don't want to put it on Fincher because I think he fully understood the idea, but like Chuck Fowler, however you say his last name, like he's a terrible writer. We can all agree to that, but he's a good terrible writer, and he's also the master of the unreliable narrator, which I think is what
Chuck
is fully
Palahniuk.
really. I've always been saying Fallonic, which is terrible. Yeah, because like in the actual novel of Fight Club, it's pretty obvious. It's all satire. Like the twist is telegraphed like within the first couple of pages. Whereas this movie, I think it relied so heavily on the twist that the satire and the actual, anti-masculinity messaging of it gets fully lost. And so everybody instead got hyper focused on that one speech on the plane where it's anti-consumerism. But like, yeah, we just need to go back and fight each other. We need to stop buying shit. And it's like, oh no, we all lost it. This was missed completely. And this will never be saved.
Even if you ask people that are like grown-ups, if you ask them like, is this film like pro masculinity or like anti masculinity, I guarantee you that 70% of them would say this film is pro masculinity, and it is absolutely not.
No.
It's completely lost.
It literally
completely
paints
lost.
masculinity as the dumbest thing of all time. Like the absolute dumbest concept to ever exist is like the concept of masculinity, and people just missed it. People just like completely missed it.
Yeah, because I think it's
like what will happen when unchecked masculinity? Oh, they'll blow up buildings.
I think
No debt. Let's go.
I honestly I think it's a casting fault. I think it's Edward Norton is a gorgeous man in real life. He is extremely beautiful. He cannot. He's playing a very. He is double A base. Brad Pitt is like the 2000s Yankees. It's not fair. So anything Edward Norton says, which is really the anti-masculinity, like you're supposed to follow that, you miss it because you're just staring at that otter body, six-pack Brad Pitt, and anything he says, which is the anti-consumerism drivel nonsense, you're like, whatever you're saying, you are a messiah. I'll follow you. It was bad casting. It's bad casting.
That six-pack, man. Any dude that's ever worked out is like, can I look like this? And any personal trainer will be like, no,
absolutely
you cannot.
You work a normal job. You cannot work out 3 times a day.
Also, I'm going to switch around my answer a little bit. The hottest Brad Pitt has ever been is that one episode of Friends that he's in.
Makes fun of Rachel.
Yeah, because he's just a beautiful man surrounded by beautiful people, which enhances his beauty.
All right. Okay. I know you have more takes. I know you definitely have more takes.
I have a question first before my third take. Did people like not? I don't mean y'all specifically, but like I have no idea I don't remember what the critical thought was or what the audience score was of like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But I remember not knowing anything about the movie other than the fact that it was, of course, based on a book. And I walked into the movie and watched it, and I said,
"Buddy,"
that's what happens when because it's not. Did people hate it?
No, people liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I expected it to be shit because it was based on like a teeny bopper book, and I walked in, I was like, oh, this is a David Fincher movie. Like, this feels like a David Fincher movie, and I enjoyed it for what it was, just because it was a David Fincher movie.
87% on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% on audience score.
Okay, I got a feeling that when I was watching it, I was like, this is good, but I don't know if people are gonna think it's good. But I was like, no, this is good. Like, he did a good job with the source material.
I have a weird story about, and I've told it on Twitter before, about Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I think you told it on the podcast.
Probably me and but I'll just retell it for the 3 people who are watching online. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
If you haven't heard this story, my girlfriend and I in high school used to sneak into movies, like rated R movies all the time. It's just a thing that you all would, why not? Yeah. Like if you're getting like, let's go get kicked out of a movie theater we just paid to enter. So I was just like, we were both 15, 16, and we're like, well, let's go see. And I was real into Rotten Tomatoes back then too. Like, I got to see all the good movies and yada, yada, yada. I got to see all the Oscar contenders. And this was getting hype out the ass. And I was like, let's go see Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And then there's just sodomy and like rape and just hardcore like murder and just all this stuff. And I was like,
tough hang.
And I just remember looking at my girlfriend when we left the movie. I was like, I am sorry. Like I didn't know.
I had no idea.
I didn't know what. Like I swear to God, I had no idea about that movie. And she was like, sure. But I was like, I don't know. I was stunned when I left out. I remember it being really good, but I was just like, whew, okay, I'm 16. I shouldn't have watched that. It was one of those ones where it's like, yeah, that was rated R for a reason.
I think people didn't like the one that came before it because there's the Fincher one, and then there's the I think it came out like 2 years in 2009.
Well, there's the actual like Danish versions or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the one people didn't like.
They made that into an actual trilogy of the book series. Anyway,
okay.
Third take.
I remember like the discourse and everybody's like, "Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is terrible," and then people were like, "No, it's great." And I think there was like people
Which one?
Realize they're talking about 2 different films.
People were watching different movies.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
my third take, and I warmed this one up a couple weeks ago, and it did not go well, but I still believe it to be true. Love Quentin Tarantino is my favorite director of all time.
Okay.
Django which is an amazing movie that I love, is a better movie if Will Smith plays Django. It's better.
Really?
Yes. And a lot of people had an issue with it because one, they didn't think that Will Smith could play Django because Will Smith kind of is Will Smith and everything, which I would push back against, by the way. I think Will Smith has quickly become one of the most underrated actors that we've ever seen, just because of the Will Smith of it all. Like we can't even give him credit for those performances because every time he's good in something, we say, yeah, we like that performance because he's acting like Will Smith. But I don't think that he's always acting like Will Smith. And I think that he plays a better Django than Jamie Foxx does.
Does it overshadow the movie and the purpose of Django, which was definitely in that movie to not do a lot of things and let the other guys cook, which was what happened?
What everybody said, right? Which was the movie was really a showcase for Leo and a showcase for Samuel Jackson and a showcase for
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. Like, and I get that. And I totally understand that. And I would believe that if you throw Will Smith into the sauce and all the Will Smith of it, it's literally going to diminish the shine of some of those other characters that we love in the movie. I agree to that to a certain extent. But I think that the stuff that you lose there is made up for by the fact that Will Smith is going to do something amazing as Django. And as Django, I don't think Jamie Foxx did anything amazing. He literally just kind of, I think we could make Dex play Django and we have the same exact movie.
Ooh.
You know what is funny is like Academy Award winner for best actor, Jamie Foxx plays fourth fiddle in that movie.
Yeah, literally. And he's on screen for a long. It's not like he's not on screen a lot. He's on screen a lot. It's just that when he's on screen, like you're looking at Leo, you can't help it. Like Leo looks like he's having the most fun he's ever had in his entire life on that set. Like you literally can't look away from it.
Somebody, I forget who it was, said like Leo was like a little too good at being racist.
Yep, he did the Adam Driver. He
went to a dark place. Leo went to a dark place in his brain to have come up with that performance.
Like, why are you so good at saying that word?
Honestly, I don't know if I buy the Will Smith take, and we had this conversation like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
About Will Smith's filmography and what was his last really good film.
Wait, what did y'all say? Okay. Can we do a quick rehash? What did y'all say was his last good film, and what were your overall thoughts about his filmography?
I forgot how we got here.
We all
since like 07.
Goddamn, I Am Legend is old.
Yeah.
And I think that's my answer too, by the way, because that's the last time I watched a Will Smith movie. It was like, that was fine. Like I don't love I Am Legend. I hate I Am Legend.
He has been on some fucking stinkers, and we recapped this in our last video too. It's like everybody watched Aladdin, was like that movie was fine. His performance was really good, but overall, like it's forgettable, and that is at best what his career has become over the past decade.
I hate it, man. I love Will Smith,
and everybody does love Will Smith.
We were saying I would watch way more like decent movies where Will Smith just shows up and he's Will Smith. Like, I would love that, but I don't need you to become an African concussion doctor. Like, I
think it's because Will Smith needs to stop being a leading man and just go like be a really cool dude or like a dude who shows up into like a really good film, like a film with a great script and a great director for like 15 minutes. Like he needs to do what Brian Tyree Henry does. Brian Tyree Henry will come into your movie for 12 minutes, and for those 12 minutes, it's his movie, and then he leaves the movie, and you don't see him anymore. That's what we need Will Smith to do. He needs to be like the greatest closer of all time. Because Will Smith as a leading man is
just Mariano Rivera coming in to enter Sandman.
He can't be a leading man anymore because he can't pick a script. And it sucks.
Or do like Matt Damon in like Ford v Ferrari, where you show up, you're just really fucking cool because you're a movie star, and then you leave. So the actual plot.
Like imagine if there were black people in Ford v Ferrari and Will Smith just showed up into the film for 10 minutes. Like he would have crushed it. He's just cool as hell. He's just Will Smith. But
oh, holy shit! There are no black people in Ford versus Ferrari.
Absolutely not. It's the whitest movie of all time.
Nope.
It's also fucking incredible. So it's fine.
Holy shit! I totally
there are no
niggas
in that film. There are no black people in that film.
Not a one.
That's blew my mind. I just never. I don't. Jesus.
So actually, following this train of thought, I'm now with Teej. Yeah, you can throw Will Smith in there because he belongs. He is not a leading man, and he did have it at one point. Absolutely, he does not have it anymore, and he lost it somewhere in the mid 2000s, probably before that.
think it's script choosing. I don't think it's his chemistry or his gravitas that has been lost.
Well,
It's something because Denzel's still leading man, and Denzel's old as hell now, and he's still like, I got a beer belly, but I'm gonna shoot all these dudes, and you're gonna watch the fucking movie. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
sure.
gonna slow down time and shoot these dudes.
I'm old, so time needs to slow down so that I can be faster than these dudes. And everybody's like, sure, I'll watch that. That sounds fun. I'll watch that.
And it's entertaining.
Again,
It's
just
fun as shit.
take The Irishman, insert Denzel in. You still have the same movie. It's fine. So no, I
Except
agree,
he can probably actually beat somebody up instead of like limping and limping out of a door.
Man, I don't know. I think
God,
I
this
think
is so bad.
it's not going to hurt as much, but I think De Niro absolutely would charge you and try to take you out. I think he still has that fire in him.
He's going to break a hip on the way down, but yeah,
oh, for sure. Like he's going to try to take you. No, I would agree with this take because I think you could put Will Smith, and I think it's because he shines brightest these days in an ensemble cast. Because the problem with Django is he doesn't have any lines. Like Jamie Foxx really doesn't speak in Django at all. Like it's
Until the end of the
Waltz.
movie.
Yeah, it's Christopher Waltz and Leonardo DiCaprio are carrying it, and then like we get Sammy J being racist Sammy J, and then he gets to carry it. Like everybody gets a little moment, but Jamie Foxx is just kind of like the set piece that connects scenes.
Samuel L. Jackson had to sit around and listen to Quentin Tarantino in casual conversation, I'm sure, say the N-word at least 900 times. And it was
100%.
fucking worth it for getting that role because Samuel L. Jackson...
It's the funniest I think Samuel L. Jackson's ever been.
I don't think I've laughed harder in a movie theater ever. Like, I was just so shocked when what I was watching. I was like, I cannot look away. This is a fucking train wreck. I cannot believe that Samuel L. Jackson's doing this. But I literally can't take my eyes off him. He's hilarious.
I count 6 shots, I count 2 guns is a great exchange. Say goodbye to Mrs. Bye. Dude, violence in that movie is incredible. Will Smith is Jay. But here's the even better question. Is Will Smith a better Neo? Does that
Absolutely
movie
not.
work with
The
Will
movie
Smith?
doesn't work. Keanu Reeves had like a elementary school kid's understanding of the script, which really works because the whole point is that he's not supposed to understand what's happening the whole time. That's why the movie works. That's why the movie is it's still the coolest movie to have ever been made. Like, it's not the best movie. It is the single-handedly coolest movie of all time that I've ever seen. It's still that cool when you go back and watch it. But it only works because Keanu Reeves didn't know what... Like, he understands John Wick, right? Okay, you're a dude. You can kill everybody. You got guns. They killed your dog. Like, Keanu Reeves is smart enough to understand that script. I'm sure he'd read the Matrix script 100 times. He said, I don't know what's happening. And they said, just go with it. And that's why the movie works. And Will Smith is...
just say the
I think
words.
Will Smith is too smart. Yeah, just say the words that we wrote and just be confused. Boom, movie made.
Whoa.
Will Smith messes it up. The first time Will Smith even attempts to tell a joke or to use any sarcasm, and the movie is ruined.
It's out.
There's not anything funny about The Matrix. Like, it's just cool. It's just awesome. Will Smith is going to go in there and start to give us some one-liners, and it's going to be weird.
We've talked a lot about Will Smith on this podcast, but I did mention, I went back and watched, like, Men in Black and Enemy of the State. Just those peak
Enemy of the
90s.
State is fucking good, bro.
So good.
That shit, it's still good.
Like, but the comedy and the confidence is just there, and there's something about it, and I guess it's just the movies. I don't know what but it's not the same. And obviously, like,
fucking movies.
Yeah, because obviously he gets on YouTube and like Instagram and gives these motivational speech, like, be the best you can be, and everybody's like, fuck yeah. But like, you know, I don't.
Your kids aren't gonna know who Will Smith is. That's the sad part.
Ow.
Your kids will not know who Will Smith is because none of those movies are gonna be movies that your kids are gonna seek out on their own. Your kids are not gonna know who Will Smith is.
As somebody who grew up with Will Smith, now when I see him on like TikTok and Instagram, I'm suddenly surprised because I'm like, oh, you're still around. Not in a sense that like, I thought Will Smith was dead, but it's more like I thought Will Smith just faded him to obscurity and will show up every once in a while.
That would have been a better ending. Like, literally, he's trying, but he's like, he just can't, and he can't get out of his own way. He needs to take the opposite approach of, I'm just gonna go work with the coolest directors that are making good shit in their prime, and I'm just gonna be one tool that they have in their toolbox, and I'm just gonna be used in the way that they want me to be used. And all of a sudden, when he is not the person determining like how he's going to be used creatively, he can actually do something interesting. But until he does that, and if he's still thinking I got to be the leading man, it's over. Like
I think he also produces half of his movies too. Like he has that kind of clout.
That's the problem. Yeah, because it's like if he walks up to Quentin Tarantino, or he walks up to a Fincher, or he goes up to Regina King, or anybody who's making interesting shit right now, just says, I don't know, I just put me in it. Like I'll figure it out. Like just put me where I go. We'll get some cool shit. We'll get some interesting stuff. We'll get some good moments from him, and that will be good enough to at least make us remember this Will Smith guy. Like we need to do our best to remember him because he was a huge star, but he just hasn't done that yet, and it's frustrating because he feels like he has to put out a movie every 3 years where he's the leading man, as opposed to appearing in 10 movies every 3 years and being in all of them for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go for that best supporting Oscar instead of trying to bait the leading Oscar. Like it's just not gonna happen for you, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe that Venus and Serena Williams shit will be fucking spectacular, and that'll get
that
it for
shit
him.
Better be, because I want it to bang. I want it to bang, but I just have
there's a good chance that movie's gonna fucking stink.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing, I'm getting scared. I'm getting nervous, but I want it to bang. I want it to be a classic, but I just don't think that he could pick a movie that is going to be that well received anymore. I just don't.
Man, this conversation reminded me of a movie that once existed heavily in my mind for comedy purposes and then immediately got recycled out. I forgot about Gemini Man. Will Smith playing against Will Smith.
Yeah. Why did you do that?
Out of another
it sounds like
person.
an SNL skit. Like the next movie that Will Smith takes in his string of flops is a movie where he plays a younger version of himself and an older version of himself, and they fight each other. It literally sounds like somebody came up with that on SNL.
Well, that movie has an interesting production history. That movie was supposed to be made in like the 1980s, and it just never could get. Like it was supposed to be at one point Stallone, like Kurt Russell, Schwarzenegger,
Ford, De Niro, Pacino, Michael Douglas, Chris O'Donnell, Mel Gibson.
Holy shit! It was just bouncing around for 30 years.
Terrible idea.
Keanu Reeves was once tabbed. Brad Pitt, Cage, Tom Cruise, Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba.
Every leading man in the action movie history has been tapped for this film.
Yep. They settled on Will Smith.
And Will Smith was like, I can do it.
Well, Skydance bought it from Disney, and I forgot who owns Skydance. But
wait, did anyone see this film? Is it good?
No, I think it holds like
it got panned,
like a teen's improvement.
I didn't even attempt to watch it.
Well, just so you know, guys, in production for Will Smith, Bright 2.
Thank God.
Yeah,
good Lord.
That shit was. You know what that gave me the vibes of? Do you remember when you first saw Hancock and for the first 30 minutes you thought it was good? And then the twist happens and you realize that it was going to go to shit completely
when they ran out of money.
Oh my God.
While we're here, we mentioned Denzel earlier. I have my one take, which is
go ahead, drop that.
It's about as like cool of a take as there can be. Like it is freezing cold, but all of the people that we consider like goats in acting, we consider them that for a reason. Stop calling Denzel overrated. Stop calling Meryl Streep overrated. They are the goats. Like
turn that shit up.
They are fucking incredible at this. They have been for years. They know how to pick projects. Like, leave it alone. We're not gonna have a dialogue about Denzel Washington. We're not gonna have a dialogue about Meryl Streep. They're the goats. Leave it alone. Accept it.
The dialogue that I have heard about Denzel that I actually do kind of agree with, going back and watching his films, is that he has like a fastball and a curveball, but those pitches are so elite that he doesn't have to do anything.
So it doesn't matter.
You can't hit them, so he's striking you out anyway.
It's like 100-mile-an-hour Garrett Cole fastball and like a wipeout slider, and that's all he needs.
There might be like literally nobody that has projected the strong silent type and cool and attractiveness. There might be nobody who's ever put it together like Denzel. Like that guy's, there's no way you can watch Man on Fire and think that person is overrated. Like he's just so fucking cool.
The funniest Aries Spears bit is him doing his Denzel impression. and the walk that did the Denzel walk.
Oh, yeah.
Is so accurate when he's walking away from like that dude who he put a bomb up his ass and he just like strutting away. It's the coolest shit I've ever seen on film. It's so cool.
It's like, how can you watch Training Day and be like, oh yeah, that guy's overrated. He sucks. Like,
Got bad squabbles, son.
Like, that's fucking amazing. I don't care if he only did Training Day in every single movie he ever made. That shit is amazing. Like nobody else can do that.
Well, it's because everybody like wants to cherry pick the shitty ones. Like Book of Eli is bad, super
It's
bad.
a tough hang.
Flight, super bad. It makes no sense on any level.
Worth
Flight
watching though.
It
'Cause
is.
He's in them.
Worth watching because the performance is still good, even though the film sucks. Like the performance is still good. Like
I just got to take a quick interlude, and this is all under our first streaming. Oliver Stacks is fighting a fucking war in our Twitter mentions right now.
what did he say?
He said, "Don't lie to that man about The Godfather being great." And this wasn't before you even came on. This is our
Wait,
other.
is he talking about the first Godfather? Is his take that the Godfather is bad?
Yes.
No, the take was. Oh, wait. The original take was we had a guy come on here and say that the Godfather trilogy is the best trilogy.
Oliver,
Yeah.
you can't say the Godfather is bad. You don't believe that.
And he is straight up having a fucking war with 10 people in our mentions right now. And one of the people just straight up said, "Go to hell, mayonnaise boy."
Oliver, you deserve to be called mayonnaise boys if you're saying that the Godfather is bad. That's an extremely bad take.
Hope he listens to this or he's watching right now because that is fucking hilarious, man.
You can't say the Godfather is bad. You can't even say the Godfather is overrated. It is properly rated.
Okay, so I guess we'll give our takes on here to wrap this up real quick. Go ahead, Dex.
That's it. The Godfather's amazing. Shut up, Oliver.
He is fighting. I mean, he is fighting with like 5 people right now.
Boo to
all
you,
at once.
Oliver. Boo to you.
It's incredible.
Do we know this man? Are we calling somebody out?
Yeah, we know
I mean,
Oliver
Okay.
We Twitter know him.
Yeah, we know
Well,
Oliver.
We know.
through Twitter. Shout out to his rocket. Stakes. They're
Hashtag
always
bully
hard.
Oliver. Bully him.
Okay, this is the whole exchange. Go to hell, mayonnaise boy. He goes, "It's the whitest movie of all time, brother." And they say they were calling.
Well, he's right about that part. It is a very white movie. It's still really
He said
good.
you can't call the movie white, and he said they were literally all white. I absolutely can call it that. And the guy said Italians weren't white until Godfather 3.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
At the point where the Godfather is being made, that is true that they were not considered white, like the way that we consider them white now. They were not considered white.
I'm honestly glad we're just contributing to the discourse. That's all I've ever wanted.
They weren't white until Godfather 3.
Wait, do you have a
made it.
take?
It
Yeah.
took us a year, but we made it.
along the lines of the Denzel thing, the Dex just said Meryl Streep. I'm done with Meryl Streep.
Why?
You're wrong.
I'm just sorry. I'm done with her. I can't.
Wait, what did she do to wrong you?
Nothing. She didn't do anything, and that's the point. She's
She
doing
just
this.
got old?
She's doing the same Meryl Streep thing, and it was great back in the heyday with like like Sophie's Choice and Kramer versus Kramer is Heat, and she's great and emotional
Big
and
fire.
that.
Big
But
fire.
when she was getting nominated for stuff like Into the Woods, I'm fucking out. I'm done. We can't keep nominating her just because she's Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Like if
we
Denzel
can,
doesn't
though.
get that,
We
no,
absolutely can do that.
No,
No, we
I'm fine
cannot.
with this take. I'm fine with this take.
No, we cannot. And it's not that she's a bad. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. She's obviously the GOAT. Like we all know that, and we've
That
all.
doesn't mean we got to keep giving her awards.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we got to keep giving her awards for Into the Woods and The Post, which was the most boring movie on the planet. Like we don't have to do that.
Extremely boring.
Yeah, we just don't. We don't have to do that, and I don't like doing that. Like, let somebody else. It's the same thing with. It's going to be the same thing with Amy Adams, even though she hasn't really won. She's going to keep getting nominated, and Amy Adams is great. But like, we don't have to keep giving her. Like, we didn't have to give Amy. Yeah. Well,
Wait,
That's-
Dex, I might want to go towards this too because I'm not a huge Amy Adams fan. She's not bad.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't see it.
I just don't. I don't understand. It insists
She's no
upon
Florence
itself.
Pugh. She's no Florence Pugh.
She's not Florence Pugh.
I do love the other day when you tweeted like a Florence Pugh picture and you were lusting after her decks on Twitter, and somebody goes, "Really, her?" And all you responded with was, "Yes."
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. Every day.
I don't find Florence Pugh attractive like that. I just like her in movies.
I love her in movies. She's not like the most attractive woman in Hollywood or anything like that, but she could have every bit of me. That's all I'm saying.
She makes
Look.
everything better. Even that extremely boring. What is the movie about the four sisters or what the hell is that? Or
Little
three
Women?
sisters. Bro,
Little Women?
I sat in the movie. I know it's a remake. I sat in the movie. First of all, I watched the original so I can get ready for the remake. And I was like, kind of boring. Just about some white women. And then I went into the movie theater because I love Florence Pugh and I support her. And I love the whole cast. And I was like, man, this is a great cast. This is probably the most boring subject matter that these great people could make together. I'm sad that they're not together making something that I can actually enjoy. I was
Are you
bored
saying
to tears.
you saw the original, the Winona Ryder version?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the original, but I saw the Winona Ryder.
I was like, you watched the one like from like the 50s, like the 30s. Like, what an interesting
I
way to
watched
get
the
in
Winona
there.
Ryder version, and I was
Sure.
like, oh, I like
That-
Winona
I mean,
Ryder.
that's
The one with
definitely-
Christian Bale,
Yeah, that's the most popular.
also
one.
in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm also this take is gonna eventually transfer on to anyone else. It's gonna transfer on to Timothy Chalamet eventually too. It's gonna transfer on to who played fucking
I don't get the Timothy Chalamet thing. I don't get it. I don't
Yeah,
get it yet.
I don't see that.
I'm not
either.
saying
I
I'm
mean,
not saying it's not there, but I don't get it yet.
he's good looking, but I don't get it otherwise.
I don't get it yet.
it's gonna transfer on to Jennifer Lawrence eventually too. Like that's gonna wear thin. But like
I don't
I-
get that one either.
Oh, she's already
know-
done. She's finished. It's over for Jennifer.
I think she might be
Really?
done. Like,
It's
Really?
Lawrence
Madness.
is done. She's finished. She got her Oscar, and that's it. We're just not doing it anymore.
wait, what did she
Man.
get the Oscar for? Silver Linings?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, and that was going to be my take. That was going to be my hot take. Is that I don't think Jennifer Lawrence has ever made a good movie.
Ever? You don't like Silver Linings Playbook?
Ooh,
No, I think-
I like Silver Linings.
I think Silver
I
Linings.
like this take.
I think Silver Linings is trash.
Really?
I don't enjoy a single second.
I
of it.
love that movie.
I don't love or hate it. I was mad about it.
Just like watch Bradley Cooper run in a trash bag and feel something for mental illness. Like I was like, I got nothing here, guys. This is
You didn't care for any of the Hunger Games movies?
Yeah, but she's also replaceable. You could have found any up and coming
That's
I-
very true.
actress at that time and put her in there. There was nothing that Jennifer Lawrence brought to the table that like suddenly made
You
this.
could have put
all
Haley
about her.
Steinfeld in there too.
You
You
could
could have
put-
replaced her in the third movie, and I wouldn't have realized it until the movie was over. I'm like, wait, that was Jennifer Lawrence? Like, I wouldn't have realized it.
You mentioned Haley Steinfeld. I am on the Haley Steinfeld train. Like she's not
Yeah,
like
same.
famous or
Steinfeld.
anything, but I am on board. She's in
True Grit,
yeah,
Bumblebee.
she's in True Grit.
Oh, okay.
I like her in the Apple TV show that she's on, Dickinson or whatever it's actually called.
Oh yeah.
The most
So,
my
look-
take is that the most underrated white actress in Hollywood right now is Elizabeth Moss. I love her. Love
Ooh.
She
Okay.
goes
She
for it
is
at the very
incredible,
least.
man.
At the very least, she goes for
her.
it.
She always goes for it, and I've never seen anything that she's been in that she hasn't made better. Even though like The Invisible Man is like not great.
Terrible.
Like yeah, it's not great. I was
Okay,
like,
this
I
is-
just like being with Elizabeth Moss. She's just amazing.
To wrap up my Meryl Streep point, we jumped the shark. She won for The Iron Lady. She won her third Oscar, which everybody really liked that performance. But and she was nominated for things like Doubt and The Devil Wears
Deserved.
Prada.
Deserved.
The Devil Wears Prada bangs.
Those are
Yeah.
deserved.
Those are all deserved, and all the ones before this are deserved as well. Like Out of Africa, Silkwood, Sophie's Choice, the Kramer versus Kramer, The Deer Hunter, things like that. But then it goes
Deer Hunter is
Aug-
not good.
August. Oh shit. Okay.
I am not
Um,
into the Deer Hunter.
It goes August Osage County, the most
Okay.
forgettable movie of all time. Into the Woods.
Oh,
What
terrible.
do you hate Into the Woods? You must.
I
hate
just
this
why
film.
are you nominated for that movie?
She was good.
No, no. And then Florence Foster Jenkins, a movie that no one saw, and
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I
and
haven't
The
seen that movie,
Post,
so I don't
which
know.
was All the King's Men or All the President's Men, but boring. That's what that movie was.
When she got it for The Post, I was like, "Oh, I know that The Post is like classic Oscar fodder, but I just found it incredibly boring."
It was, and I love All the President's Men and everything surrounding the Washington Post and all that era. It's one of my favorite movies. That movie was so boring. That movie was a movie with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep was boring as fuck. All right, sorry, that's my Meryl Streep take. Like I'm tired of legacy awards. Basically,
So
I
you're
think I'm
mad
on board on
about
this one.
2 nominations, basically. It's what you.
no,
basically-
I'm mad about
Nominations is a big amount.
I'm mad about legacy awards. Pretty much,
Okay, here's
it's like
I have-
Jeter retirement ceremony. Like I don't give a fuck, man.
I refuse to touch this because this is like one of the worst takes I've heard, and it's ranking up there with Dex's take on Shawshank. Like I care not to even recognize its existence.
Has Dex walked the Shawshank take back?
No,
Oh my god, Dex,
dude, the movie's so boring.
He's
Dex,
gonna
you have to stop this.
he's gonna be buried to that. No, the reason Into the Woods sucks is because it was the first introduction as James Corden, and we were all supposed to accept that he's good. That is where they insert him into American culture and be like, you're gonna enjoy this man.
Dude, they keep inserting
And
him
they
into
shoved him
shit.
down our throat for the next 10 years.
I still don't get the James
year,
Corden hate, man. He's fine
don't-
to me.
I don't either.
He's
1 year before that, he
he's
was in
inoffensive.
Begin Again. 1 year before, he was in Begin Again, a terrible Keira Knightley, Mark Ruffalo movie in which it's actually just about Adam, what's his face from Maroon 5, just announcing that he sold out. That's all that movie's about. And he's great in that. James Corden is great in that. And then he immediately goes into In the Woods, and then like right after that gets his own fucking show.
The thing about James Corden is I feel like it was like we need people who are even the least bit marketable that people know that can sing even a little bit. And I think that's what it is. I think it's like they could get Broadway stars or whoever that are unknown, or we could have this guy that can kind of carry a tune that people seem to enjoy.
James Corden hate is like the one thing that theater kids have ever contributed to society. Theater kids decided that everyone should hate James Corden, and so they made that happen. And there's no other reason for people to hate James Corden. Theater kids just said so.
Not for nothing, I think behind the scenes he's also kind of a dick, but I think he's been pretty open about it,
Yeah.
which is kind of the opposite of the Ellen takes, where it's like he's just like, yeah, I'm kind of bad. I'm a bad person. It's like, all right, like
I won't call it out by name because One Take is the only podcast that ever existed. But my favorite podcast in the world is run by the head writer of the Corden Show, and even as much as he loves his job, he somewhat semi recognizes how shitty James Corden is.
Oliver just tweeted at us because I think he's still watching, and he said the only take I've ever received this much hate for. And this is a bad take, Oliver. I was trying to defend you, but the only take I've ever received this much hate for is that Songs About Jane, the Maroon 5 album, is trash.
Fuck
Wait,
you.
Teej is on this take, too.
Wait.
Wow.
He's right about that take.
Fuck what?
Get out of
He's
here,
right.
bro.
That
Their
shit is
best album.
That shit. Well, I'm not saying it's not their best album. I'm saying it's not good. It is
Oh.
unlistenable garbage.
It is
God.
the best out of a pile of mediocrity. It's still mediocre.
Every
Nah,
mediocre
bro,
white
Songs
woman
About
that,
Jane.
in my life at that time was listening to that album, and I just hated so much.
Songs About Jane is prime sad white boy territory, dude. That is
It
right
is
up my alley.
still good.
My
Like,
take
to
is that
this
Adam
day.
Levine is not and has never been talented. That is my
No,
take.
Well, I mean, duh,
I buy that
but-
take. I buy that take. You could have like inserted Justin Timberlake into Maroon 5 and you've still gotten Songs About Jane. I will
You
buy that.
can
100%.
insert Justin Timberlake anywhere and get whatever you want because he like doesn't have any real like musical message. Or,
He has no
He just
There's
has
no-
tattoos and he's good looking, and that is the extent of the talent, which is
I
a
mean,
talent. I'm not gonna say that.
Justin
I mean,
Timberlake is a monster. Like he just like sucks up any talent that he sees, and it's like he can do that now. And I love
Timberland,
him.
give it to me.
I've loved him since I was a little kid. Back when he was in Sync, I had like fucking NSYNC posters on my wall. I still love Justin Timberlake's music, but Justin Timberlake is a monster who just sucks up other people's talent and doesn't have anything new to say.
Songs About Jane is a good album. Sorry.
Agreed.
It's a
TG,
good album.
Do we have any more movie takes before we
I
shut
can't
this
believe
down?
that that Oliver's doubling down on his hate of The Godfather. That's ridiculous.
Triple,
Here's
quadruple.
what it is.
You can't do that.
Songs About Jane is good. I'm going with that because I think it is good, but it's only good because it introduces people that solely shop at Old Navy and H&M to funk.
Ouch, dude.
That's why it's good.
God damn it.
That's incredible.
Ow.
That's incredible.
It's just a white guy that took funk and made it mainstream and accepted it. Like,
That's incredible.
I still think it's a great album, but it's only great because it's the Mrs. Bears of funk. Everybody buys it. Everybody enjoys it. It's nothing special, but it's now in every household.
What do young people think of H&M? Is H&M good?
I think it's still, yeah.
I mean, it's still around.
I mean,
Forever
it's not
21
good, but it's-
can't say as much.
It's cheap.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm not gonna lie. I went into Old Navy today, and just a little, apropos of this conversation, went into Old Navy today, and I was like, "Holy shit! Either I'm cheap, or there's some great shit in here." Because I was buying like joggers for $7.
no, they revamped it. They revamped it.
There's something about that. They revamped that shit, and the whiteness in me came out where I was like, I gotta buy
The
three
whiteness.
I gotta buy 3 graphic T-shirts for $10.
Oh yeah, I have like 6 Old Navy shirts that like celebrate California. I don't live there, but I got them for $3. So yeah, 100%, and they're quality. They're not going to get destroyed in the washing machine.
I have one last movie take.
Do it.
Yes. Give it to us. Unless it's
not
about
even-
Shawshank, then keep that shit.
It's not. I mean, everybody already knows how I feel about Shawshank, but
This is a terrible take.
my last take is that getting pissed off about the Oscars is fun, and everyone should do it every year.
I 100% agree with this.
Oh, 100%. That's not even a take.
I
That's
love the
just
Oscars.
factual.
I love getting angry about it. I love this year. I've decided I'm going to get angry about categories I know nothing about, like sound editing.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be
Sound
pissed.
design. Who
What
knows
the
what
fuck?
that
How
is?
dare you? I'm just going to be pissed about stuff that I don't even care about because it's fun to be mad about the Oscars and fuck you if you don't like it. It's fun.
Oh, no.
Dude,
Yeah,
there are gonna be
everybody's
some
always
takes
like-
though, because go ahead, Dex.
Every year, people are like, "Oh, there's not enough people nominated from this random ass movie that I like." Like when people were mad about us not being nominated, man, fuck out of here. That's dumb. Like, of course,
Yeah,
us
that film wasn't good.
Or,
Well, that
like,
film was good. It just wasn't great.
I mean,
It's not.
we all had
that's
to.
what we're
We
here
all
for.
had to
Like, get
accept
out of here.
that the Academy of Arts and Sciences is like the dumbest organization of all time that just throw darts on the board and accept money to.
They don't even watch the movies.
Oh,
And if
absolutely
they
not.
let me become a voter and would send me the trailers, I would never slander them again. I would sell out that fast. I love the Oscars.
Yeah, let's do it. Everyone
Oh,
who's upset about celebrities and their like acceptance speeches getting too political or whatever, that's dumb. This is fun and we should let it happen. All the snubs are fun and we should let them happen. It's okay that they don't recognize like whatever fucking random ass identity politics cinema that you want recognized that year. It's fine. We can get mad about movies we've never seen and we never plan on watching winning things because it's a good time. Everyone should do it.
When black people wanted to boycott the Oscars, I understood why they were upset, and I was upset too. But then they were like, "Yeah, let's boycott," and I was just like, "Oh, I won't be boycotting. I have to watch the Oscars. I love the Oscars. I look forward to it every year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not.
You're
I
just
need that.
silently like, yeah,
Yeah, like what-
ABC.
the only question was whether I was going to watch it in private or whether I was going to watch it like publicly. But I was always going to watch. I can't not watch. I love.
gonna get this you'd at an Oscar party.
I am going. I know. I absolutely hate watching the Oscars. I love hate watching any show. I love getting pissed at the Golden Globes for TV shows I'm never gonna watch. I don't give a shit, but suddenly I'm super passionate about whatever ABC sitcoms are being shoved out right now.
The Golden Globes are even worse because they really just throw shit against the wall and hope it
Yeah,
sticks.
they really
Like,
don't give a fuck.
And all the celebrities are drunk, so the speeches are literal dribble, and
Oh,
it's
it's
still
awesome.
like.
that's my favorite thing about it's like, what's your Modern Family for the 15th year in a row? Fuck it.
There are 2 things in my life that I love to hate watch. One is the Super Bowl, and you bet your ass I am gonna watch. I'm gonna hate watch. I'm gonna get dressed up. I'm gonna make it a solo party to hate watch the Super Bowl. I don't give a shit about the Chiefs. I don't give a shit about Tampa Bay. I don't give a shit about Tom Brady. But I am for sure gonna live tweet my anger that whole time, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for the Academy Awards.
The pandemic commercials during this year's Super Bowl are gonna suck ass.
Oh, those are gonna be
Uh,
awful.
Oh God, I just realized that, and during the Oscars too, because that's when like the two most watched events of the year. Oh,
But you have the
dude.
perfect drinking game. You have to drink every time you see a mask in a commercial, and everybody will be drunk.
Oh, that's
Here
true.
at Honda, we recognize during these unprecedented times.
Oh, thank you, Bounty paper towels, for realizing these unprecedented times.
Dude, unrelated but related. My most favorite thing was after the insurrection, how many companies came out against it. I was like, I really don't give a shit, Tide, that you don't support overthrowing the government. I trust you as a corporate entity.
Yeah, I wasn't really curious about how Doritos felt about the insurrection.
But thank you, Doritos, for letting. I didn't really care how Bud Light thought about the pandemic, but now I know. Thank you for that.
We here at Sunny Delight do not support. All right.
Do not support this racist agenda and movement that happened in the Capitol today. Oh,
No,
Jesus.
thank you is equal, I guess.
Oh my God.
There were no like crazy takes that were going to shut down the internet. So I guess
We
I'm,
here at
partially
Sabra
happy.
Hummus.
Oh no.
Mexico.
They made chocolate hummus. They support no agenda.
Before
Like,
we leave,
unless you were My Pillow, they were just like, we all don't like this. We're like, we know. Like we get it.
I was not,
can everybody tell me an American classic movie that they do not enjoy before we get off? So
Ooh.
that
Shit. Okay, hold on.
in the spirit of Oliver, we can all release
He's getting
a
in
movie.
fights with Italian Americans right now in our mentions, so that's fun. Like I thought I pissed him off. Mm-mm.
Shout out
Actually-
to the Gabagool man.
Actually, okay, if we're doing this, I'm gonna follow the AFI 100. I'm going after the king. I'm taking down the crown. Citizen Kane is boring as shit.
Oh my
It is
god!
not a cinema. It is not a cinema masterpiece. It is not.
I think
It's
that's why I
nothing.
couldn't get into the new Fincher movie because I was like, I don't like Citizen Kane. It actually bores me to tears. And now I'm gonna watch a movie about the people who wrote Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And I was asleep in 20 minutes. I never went back.
I mean, it is well regarded. Orson Welles was human trash. He was not a good person on any way, shape, or form. Anything he makes is not great, and Citizen Kane is prime suspect of that. Like it is not it's not a technical achievement. Nothing that was done cinematography or lighting wise was like new and innovative. There was nothing that happened in that movie except for
I
a
love
twist
that
ending.
you went for the top. I love that you went for the top.
I hate that movie. I hate this movie so much.
I have mine.
Go for it.
2001: A Space Odyssey is extremely
I was
boring.
going to
Boring
say
as shit.
that. I was
Boring as
going
shit.
to say 2001: A Space Odyssey. It is incredible tension building with the computer and everything else. And then they're just like, what about monoliths? Like, what? Like, do the space horror that do that thing that you were doing where they're open the pod bay doors, Hal. That's terrifying. Like, do that.
Yeah.
But what about monoliths and the meaning
All of the
universe?
many movies that were inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey are better than 2001: A Space Odyssey. That
Easily.
film bores me to tears.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that that movie was made in like 1969, though, is
They're doing some stuff with technology
Incredible.
that obviously is ahead of their time. But man, my God, it doesn't bore me. I'd rather watch Grapes of Wrath, which is also an extremely boring film, obviously. I'd rather watch that.
Ugh.
We know
Dex.
Dex, yours has to not be about the film that we must not be named. You have to give us a different one.
Okay.
I like to point out that Godfather is ranked 2 on AFI. Citizen Kane beats Godfather. This is fucking
It's
nuts.
absolute tragedy. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Casablanca, Raging Bull, Singing in the Rain, Gone with the Wind are all below this. This is tragedy.
well, Gone with the Wind is racist, so
Well, yeah, but
That's not why it's ranked lower than
Yeah.
Citizen Kane.
in fact, actually, I think he got a couple of boosts over that. Right, Dex? Dex hates the Wizard of Oz.
I mean, do I ever want to watch The Wizard of Oz again? Not really. But
Well, that's fine.
it's
long as
not
you announce
bad,
that it's good.
but yeah,
Once you recognize it's good, you don't have to
yeah,
watch it.
it's fine. Okay, so this is a much more recent one. People might get me out of here for this one, but Moonlight, it's not that good.
All right, that's the end of this podcast.
We made
It's
it
not
one
that
full
good.
year, team. Well done.
You
finally
definitely
got
liked you definitely like La La Land more. I mean that's not a joke. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a true statement. I would have given La La Land Best Picture over Moonlight personally. Moonlight's not
This
that
is an extremely poor take.
Why don't you like it?
good. It's boring. Nothing happens.
That is, I'm so offended.
He's a child in the ghetto. He's gay, and he grows up, and that's it. That's the movie.
This is ridiculous.
Ghetto gay grows up. It's the movie. Like I don't.
Oliver said, if we want to talk about Citizen Kane being trash, he's here for it.
Somebody
Nobody
else
would defend Citizen
I-
Kane. Citizen Kane is very
Yeah,
trash.
I
no,
like
we've
it.
I've
had
just accepted
Okay,
that
fuck you,
I'm
Roy.
never going to watch.
Royden, you like Citizen Kane?
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Wait
Roy
till you
does.
see a real movie like The Godfather. You're gonna be mind blown.
Royden also just has a portrait of Randolph Hearst in his office.
Yeah,
It's
me
like,
known William Randolph Hearst supporter. The stories behind him are we went to, by the way, just a little, I mean, I know we're running long and this is a 3-hour extravaganza, but like we went to William Randolph Hearst's castle. It's a literal castle
Yeah, it's bonkers.
out in California, and you could tell it's like, oh, this dude was crazy,
Oh,
and he had
it's
more
awesome.
money than God, and it's crazy. He just was like, and you know, what's funny is that it's so big and so just out. You can see it for miles,
Mhm.
and he has all this land, and they're still the Hearst family's still making money. They own everything. It was like, yeah, no one can film movies here.
Whoa.
Not you just can't. There's like one time a movie was filmed there. Okay, this is just a kind of like a blanket take. A lot of John Wayne's films are boring.
It's the same movie.
I'll
over
take
and
your
over
word
again.
for it. I've
Racist.
never seen one.
Like I like True Grit. I like
True Grit is really good.
yeah, I like the Cowboys. I like the Shootist. But like other than that,
I mean, there's
he's playing the same dude.
yeah. I mean, there is a wide swath, an entire container ship of movies that you could fill where it's the same movie over and over again. But that's kind of true for a lot of westerns.
If I had to pick like a film, it'd probably be 2001: A Space Odyssey. Is boring. But yeah, I don't. Number 44, Birth of a Nation. Not great.
Not a great film. Not great.
Not great. Yeah, I don't really.
I can't believe AFI still has Birth of a Nation on their fucking list. Like what the
Number
fuck?
44, like not even the
What are
very
we
bottom.
doing?
Hey, what are you looking at? I have 44 as Philadelphia Story.
Oh, I
Good.
don't know.
Hopefully they deleted it.
Ooh, do I dare?
Yes, do it. Do it. Do it.
E.T. isn't good.
It's okay.
It's
E.T.
fine.
People love that movie. Like that defined people's childhood.
Yeah.
It did not define my childhood.
Well, you're also what 30? Like, I mean, I'm talking about
I'm
like
34. No, ET came out. I was a kid when ET came out. I
Were you?
went on the ET. When did ET come out? Like
82.
80.
82.
Oh, I lied. I completely lied. I was born in 86, so maybe that's why ET didn't shape my childhood.
exactly.
Yeah, but it was also a movie that like kept showing up in theaters.
Yeah, because I feel like I saw ET in theaters, but
Yeah.
that must have been when I was. If I have a memory, then it must have been like it was in the 90s, and they was like
Yeah, I
in
mean,
theaters again.
That was a movie that like kept showing up in theaters, like the 5th year anniversary, the 6th year anniversary. Because my sister was born in 82, and like my family's favorite story is that they took her to see E.T. in theaters, which obviously not when it came out, but she apparently like sobbed very loudly when E.T. showed up on the screen. They had to take her out of the theater.
Oh my god!
It's terrifying. The movie when they put them in quarantine or whatever, and they're all in the white suits, and Elliot's dying. It's one of the more terrifying things in movie history.
All of those movies that are in that like general vicinity of like older white people classic
Be,
like during their
be very
childhood.
careful. Be very
Yeah, I
careful
was
about
about-
the
you
rest
are-
of this take. Be
You
very
are
careful about the rest of
treading
this
some
take.
water, son.
There's not for me, man. Like E.T., like the Goonies is usually in that group for people.
I
that
love
it's
the
like,
Goonies.
oh, it was so amazing when I was a kid. I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It's not that.
Well, I mean, because
Oh.
Not that good.
looking at it from anything Pope's 2000 lens, absolutely no, it does not hold up. But for like something that came out of the 80s, an adventure film like Stand By Me, where it's just suddenly like you can go outside of your white suburb and like go experience something, that spoke to so many kids.
Oh, we've
Wait, I
talked about
thought you were
this
about to
before.
slander
Yeah.
Back to the Future. I thought this was going to end
Yeah.
up
Oh
in
no,
Back to the Future.
Back to the
slander. I was going to be
Future
furious.
holds up. We were talking about
I
that.
love Back to the Future.
The original
Absolutely.
one holds up.
We talked about this one before. I don't give a fuck about Blade Runner.
Oh,
I've never seen a Blade Runner film.
People hold that in the same regard as like Star Wars. Like,
Nah, it ain't that. We watched it.
Star
like,
Wars?
Oh, they do.
No,
We watched it in like my English class, like in senior year of high school, and we had to like break it down. Like it's part of this section we were doing about like what defines humanity, and like I really liked it from that like perspective or whatever. But would I ever like sit through the whole thing again? Probably not.
I've never seen a
it's-
Blade Runner film.
it's badly sold because people I forgot when the movie came out. I think it's
82.
Yeah, so it came out right,
What
kind
a
of
year.
we're tapering off of the Star Wars hype, and sci-fi is really becoming a household thing, whereas this is just a neo noir crime thriller that also has to deal with the fact that in the coming evolution as we end the thousands, chances are we're gonna have to start dealing with what isn't real and what is. But yeah, that movie got sold very heavily and still does that this is like some sort of like space thriller opera when it definitely is not. It's just
Action movie. It's not.
It's a detective story. It's a
Mhm.
procedural drama of Harrison Ford trying to figure out is what he's actually doing good. Like it is being a detective that hunts down androids that are just trying to be living beings. Is it good?
Okay, I'm gonna have to boot. I'm gonna have to boot Oliver because he says it's better than Star Wars. No.
Wait, he says Blade Runner is better than Star Wars?
Yes.
No.
Look,
no.
man.
So
I
Oliver
love
is
and
that guy who
appreciate
hates
you,
everything that
but
people love. He hates whatever people really
He's-
like. He just takes the anti position.
He's definitely on
Ask
old
him his
fa-
favorite movie.
He's definitely on old fashioned number 4, just wilding out on whatever he can.
Okay.
What is your favorite movie, bro? Tell us. In the
Ask him
Yeah,
his
that's
favorite
what-
movie, and it's going to be something
If
ridiculous.
he's watching
like,
YouTube, like he's on
The
like a
Sound of
10-second
Music.
delay, so we should get this pretty soon.
Do we go with Creed or Rocky? The original Rocky.
Come on, this is a disrespectful question.
Come on.
This is
Rocky.
disrespectful.
The fight scenes aren't great. Going back and watching Rocky.
Sure, yes, but the technology and the way that we block fights is like much more advanced now. Creed's a perfectly fine movie. I like Creed a lot, but come on, man.
Okay, the best of that movie.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm more entertained now by Creed than I was. Rocky's a better film, but I'm more entertained by Creed.
They created a film in which the main character lost the big fight, and everybody was like, "I want to see more of that." Like
Yeah.
that is fucking hard to do.
Which they basically just stole some dude's actual life story and didn't pay him for it.
Yeah, that part wasn't great.
We made a movie in which it's mostly about Carl Weathers dying. And people are like,
Basically,
I need a revenge story. Sylvester Stallone
Rocky
is
has
the one.
cancer. The
No,
movie.
the best of that series. The best of that series is Rocky 5, when he has to fight his student Tommy the Gun.
God,
Rocky 5
I don't
doesn't
even
exist. They
I don't
never
even know
made
if that's
this movie.
canon. I don't even know if that's
It's
Rocky
not canon. It's not canon. Rocky 5 is the Rise of Skywalker. Neither one of those films have ever existed.
Rocky 5 immediately starts in media res from after he kills Ivan Drago. He doesn't, but he beats the shit out of him. And the opening shot is Sylvester Stallone's naked ass as he's basically spread eagle in a shower. And then it just gets better from there.
People who are listening to this, thank you so much. You're gonna have to break this up into like 5 days of podcasts. We have recorded enough for like 3 weeks. But oh man, if you have the takes, tweet us. We're going to be doing a lot more of these live streams on YouTube instead of me having to edit them like 10 days later. So that's
This is awesome.
So I'm going to be trying to do that more. Oliver, that's not the question that we asked you. Tweet us your favorite movie. He said people love Blade Runner. This is a terrible take. I didn't say Star Wars was bad. It's just not as good as Blade Runner, and that's just false.
It's just not.
I'm gonna be honest, for our listeners that are gonna get this on Thursday, they're gonna be like, "What? Who is feuding?
Who the fuck is Oliver?
What is that? Who is this man?"
We'll send you his @ so you can go bully him after you out here the podcast. You can go bully Oliver
at Oliver_Stacks. He's been in fights with Italian Americans, and
apparently he thinks Blade Runner is better than Star Wars, which I don't know because I've never seen Blade Runner, but it sounds like a controversial take.
It is a controversial take, and it's wrong. It's just incorrect.
All right, guys.
Incorrect.
We got to wrap this up. This has been a One Take Podcast 1 year edition. Thank you so much for the 10 people that watched this on YouTube. Teej, thanks so much for bringing the heat. We appreciate you as always.
Happy anniversary, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've been doing this for a year without new movies coming out, so it's been fun. It's great. You can follow us at One Take Pod. You can follow us at on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us at One Take Podcast on YouTube now as well. So go do that. Subscribe. You can watch some of our older podcasts. I think a few of them are up there, including our King of Staten Island episode, our Batman versus Superman episode, which is one of our funnier episodes. So you can go and check those out. And I'll be trying to upload a few more videos here, but we're going to do this live stream thing here more instead. So thank you all for listening. Seriously, thank you all so much for listening, subscribing, following us from literally 0 Twitter followers to over a couple hundred now. And hopefully we keep putting out content, keep getting a little bit bigger and bigger every day. I know you're listening. I know you're watching because we have the stats. Go rate us 5 stars on iTunes, please and thank you. Because you aren't doing that, and we'll find you. No, I'm kidding.
And literally, we are not shitting you. I put it in the description every single time. If you do that, and then you tweet at us like a screenshot of you doing that, and then you were like, "Hey, I want to fucking wreck Blade Runner," we will absolutely bring you on and let you do that. We have no standards. We won't let anybody show up on here.
We won't vet you. Nothing.
Absolutely not. If your Twitter is literally about where the 80 million votes went, we will still let you be on here. We will give you a platform.
Yeah. Once you get banned on Twitter, we will let you onto our podcast as your new platform.
Yeah. That actually, honestly, if you get banned on Twitter, come on the podcast. We'll talk to you.
Not gonna lie, we will sell out so hard.
We have no standards.
Oliver says Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy of all time, which we've said that. Okay.
It's wrong.
Oh, well, no. All right. So that has been a One Take Podcast. Dex, what are we doing? One take that isn't controversial.
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. That's what we've been doing for a year now. Look how far we've come. Real quick, before we move on, I want to give a shout out to one of our first fans who didn't make it through the year with us, but we could not have gotten to where we are without her. Shout out to Karen Gordon Armstead, Butterfly FX, big RIP. One of the first fans, one of the most encouraging fans we ever had. We miss you every day. We're still thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace. We miss you. We love you.
Huge RIP. Single-handedly would keep my Twitter interactions and our Twitter interactions as a whole
absolutely
up. And she was wonderful. She was just a bright shining light online to anybody that she met. And she was always welcoming and kind, and rest in peace to her. And thank you so much for, I think we know that her partner, spouse, listens to us. So thank you so much for continuing to do that. And yeah, she was great. She was incredible. All right.
We out.
Oh, for a second, I thought you threw your microphone like that was your drop, and I was like, "Oh
no!" I thought you were going to say something. Let's wrap this up. No, to go support us. Thank you so much. We're good night, Cleveland. All right, thank y'all for seriously, but to everyone else from the bottom of our heart, thank you for continuing to listen. Please download, subscribe, rate 5 stars, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcast. All right, we're out.
Yeah.
Good Lord, this is going to take